I need every viewer to grasp the magnitude of what just transpired, because Indiana's latest move transcends a simple roster update. This isn't just another contract, it's an open declaration of hostilities against every single team in the league. Sophie Cunningham has returned. Caitlin Clark's fiercest protector and most dedicated ride-or-die ally is officially back in the fold. I'm putting this on the record right now for every keyboard critic to screenshot, bookmark, and remember forever. This group wasn't assembled for the playoffs or some modest semi-final run that ends with a polite exit. This squad was built specifically to hoist a championship banner into the rafters of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Fever just completely disrupted the league's balance, catching everyone off guard. Welcome back to WNBA Pro, everyone. Prepare yourselves for a cinematic journey. News just confirmed Sophie Cunningham is joining USA Network's WNBA coverage this season as a contributor. We will see Sophie Cunningham contributing her expertise to the USA Network broadcast team throughout the current season. A dedicated fan remarked that she will be incredible, and honestly, the timing of this announcement is absolutely impeccable. The league just finalized the upcoming free agency calendar, with the negotiation window officially opening this past Wednesday. Franchises can officially ink new player contracts starting Saturday. After securing Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull, Indiana faced one massive, lingering mystery that overshadowed their entire offseason plans. Would Sophie Cunningham actually return to the roster? The answer is a resounding yes. This news should send a wave of genuine terror through every other franchise in the entire WNBA. Before the technical breakdown, we must discuss why this signing is so much more than just filling a slot on the team. Sophie Cunningham represents a specific culture and grit. She is the soul of everything the Fever organization values. Bringing her back to Indiana isn't just about clever cap management or standard basketball roster construction. It's a bold signal that they aren't here to make friends but to dominate. Remember June of 2025. During a game against Connecticut, Caitlin Clark took a direct hit to the eye from J.C. Sheldon, clearly intentional. Rivals have been hunting Clark since her debut, even holding strategy meetings on how to physically break the rookie. The Phoenix Mercury, her former team, discussed behind closed doors how to welcome Clark to the reality of the league. Cunningham was present in those very rooms, hearing the game plans and seeing the schemes designed to rattle her. She witnessed the onslaught from the outside, but now she's Clark's guardian, and when Sheldon struck, Sophie didn't complain. There was no lobbying the officials for a foul or waiting to post a passive-aggressive message on social media. She physically confronted Sheldon on national television, resulting in both players being tossed from the game immediately. A chipped tooth meant nothing to her in that moment, because that's exactly what a true enforcer provides. If you target her teammate, she's coming for you, no apologies, no hesitation. That fierce display went absolutely viral. Her social media following exploded past 1 million overnight, making her the most respected teammate in the entire league. It wasn't because of a 20-point average, or some individual award, but because she proved that somebody in Indiana would always have Caitlin Clark's back. In a league where Clark faces constant physical pressure, that level of loyalty is worth more than any statistics. Every antagonist in the WNBA was just put on notice. The bodyguard is back with even more intensity. Some wondered if she'd lost her edge in practice, or if that knee injury was still causing major issues. That's a valid concern, considering how severe that leg injury was when she went down during the previous season. Let's look at the facts before the comments get wild. Remember, Cunningham is far more than a physical presence. She can flat out play, a fact people often miss while focusing on her viral highlights and aggressive persona. They only see the technicals and the attitude, which is honestly just a very lazy way to analyze basketball. We don't do lazy scouting here. Sophie averaged 8.6 points per game throughout the previous season. She shot 46.9% from the floor, hitting 1.7 triples and grabbing 3.5 boards. Averaging over 1 assist and a steal, she played 25 minutes nightly as a key member of the starters. She achieved all that while serving as the primary defender and emotional core, yet stats don't show her true value. Her presence alters the opponent's entire strategy. With her on the floor, no one bullies Clark without facing immediate consequences. They can't just grab her jersey. Cheap shots stop happening because they know number 8 is watching, and she never hesitates to protect her own. That mental edge outweighs 10 points on the board. It completely flips the script on the court's vibe. Clark can finally cut loose without fearing a blindside. Mitchell gets room to breathe and work without a target on her back. This roster feels a level of security that transcends any box score statistic. Here's the hidden truth everyone's missing. Indiana's miracle postseason charge happened while Cunningham sat sidelined. Her knee buckled in August when Hartley collided with her against Connecticut. Just like that, her dreams were paused. Stuck in casual clothes, she shouted herself hoarse and coached from the pine as her sisters-in-arms battled through the bracket. She had a front-row seat to the heartbreak of Clark, missing the dance due to medical issues. She saw Mitchell collapse during the fifth game, powerless to help as the star was hauled off with a brutal condition. Just picture the scene now. Visualize the agony, the setbacks, the endless recovery hours, and those dark nights questioning her future on the hardwood. Now she's returned, fully fit and carrying a grudge bigger than Indianapolis itself. You honestly think she's here for a friendly scrimmage? Think she's showing up just to clock in, drop 8 points, and cash a check? Forget that. She's returning to settle every single score. This squad almost touched the trophy without her, and now they're arming a heavy hitter in an already lethal rotation. This isn't just paperwork. This is Indiana sliding the lethal round into the magazine. So I did some digging post-stream, and Boston's entering year 4. She's looking at roughly 900,000 to 1.2 million. Then there's Caitlin Clark, taking home 500,000 right out of the gate. She's been a Premier League standout for 2 straight years. Listen close. I have to lay this out clearly so you grasp why every front office across the league is popping pills to sleep tonight. Your floor general, Caitlin Clark, the most thrilling talent in the sport, a visionary distributor with unlimited range who put up 16.5 and 8.8 assists before bad luck struck in 2025. She only touched the court 13 times last season, yet the team still fought their way to the Final Four. Currently, she's at 100%, feeling stronger than ever according to every insider in the building. Her winter was spent grinding and healing for what she's labeled her redemption tour. If Clark says she's furious, the rest of the league should be terrified. In the 2-guard spot, Kelsey Mitchell 20.2 points per night and a league-topping 111 triples. A multiple-time elite selection and all-star who famously declared that this group was all the firepower they required. She proved it by dragging this organization through a medical nightmare of a season unlike anything we've seen. Mitchell dropped 34 on Vegas in the playoff opener and never missed a single minute of the campaign. With 0 missed assignments, she just inked a $1.4 million extension. She's locked in, and her predator mindset is here to stay. Manning the wing, Sophie Cunningham, the bruiser and heart of the squad who elevates the whole floor. Shooting 47%, she locks down the perimeter, hits big buckets, and punishes anyone trying to play rough. Don't forget she was already a martial arts master by the time she was 6. She was literally booting pigskins for her high school's football unit. Her DNA is just crafted differently, and she's finally home. At the 4, we have Aaliyah Boston, a champion and perennial all-star talent. The same monster who drained a cold-blooded game winner to send Atlanta packing in the 2025 postseason. She maintained a heavy double-digit scoring average and crashed the glass for 8+ boards a night. Whether it's post-up buckets, high post passing, or rim protection, she does it all. With the new labor rules, she's up for the big bucks, and Indiana is ready to open the vault for their cornerstone. On the perimeter sits Lexi Hull, a defensive iron woman who didn't miss a single one of the 44 regular games and 8 playoff matchups. She even bullied the Aces, with a 16-point, 10-rebound double-double when the pressure was highest. This Stanford grad takes the toughest defensive assignment every night and thrives in the shadows. Indiana locked her down with a qualifying offer, securing her future. Just look at that starting 5 again. Clark, Mitchell, Cunningham, Boston, and Hull. You're looking at 5 battle-hardened warriors who've sacrificed everything for one another. These women spent their nights in hospital lobbies while their sisters suffered season-ending blows. This core fought tooth and nail to the Final Four while half the bench was in casts. Now, they're healed, united, and absolutely starving for a title. I'm about to drop a truth bomb that might ruffle some feathers, but frankly, I couldn't care less. Across this entire league, there isn't a single squad brave enough to face them. 0. Not even the heavyweights like the Aces, Liberty, or Lynx. See, raw skill might snag a few wins, but it's that unspoken bond that secures the rings. Currently, no one in the WNBA rivals the electric synergy surging through the Indiana Fever. While rival teams boast a collection of icons, the Fever operates as a blood-bound unit. And trust me, when kin hits the court, the fire burns differently. On a Tuesday evening, Cunningham broke the news that she's joining the USA Network crew to help steer their WNBA analysis. Her words? "Mama's back in the building." Revealing her new venture on Instagram, she shared her excitement about teaming up with the network. Here's a glimpse of what she posted for her followers. Let's bring that post up on the screen right this second. It's a total curveball, I know, but I need to talk to the doubters, the ones currently hammering away at their keyboards in the comments section. They're yelling, "But wait, Sophie, didn't Cunningham blow out her knee? How can we trust her health?" Sophie, the roster still has major gaps, plus the Aces have a force of nature in Aja Wilson. And didn't the Liberty drop $100 million? Let's settle this once and for all. First, let's talk about that knee injury. Her ligament went out back in August of 2025. Since then, she's logged 8 full months of grinding through therapy. Keep in mind, an MCL isn't an ACL. They're two different beasts. The recovery window is way tighter, and Cunningham's been flooding her socials with training footage showing she's already back to her explosive self. She isn't aiming for a mediocre return. She's coming back at 110% because she's got a massive point to prove. Now, let's address those roster holes. Sure, Indiana needs a few more weapons, maybe a secondary ball handler or a seasoned veteran to hold down the middle. They need more bodies on the bench. But here's the kicker. The market for free agents is wide open with over 100 names looking for a home. High-profile athletes like Azura Stevens are practically begging for a spot in Indy. With massive cap space and the number 10 draft pick, they're holding all the cards. Indiana has become the most sought-after destination for anyone wanting to win. Think about it. Who wouldn't want to run the floor with Caitlin Clark? Who wouldn't want to play for a coach like Stephanie White or feed off the energy of a packed, screaming house every single night? Players flock to Indiana because elite talent gravitates toward a winning culture. It's inevitable. Now, about those giants, the Aces, and Liberty. Look, Aja Wilson is undeniably the greatest on the planet, and New York's roster is a dream team, but don't forget history. The Fever dragged the Aces to a 5-game war in the semis, all while missing Caitlin Clark. They did it without Sophie Cunningham, Ari McDonald, Sydney Colson, or Chloe Beebe. They fought that hard with a rotation half-filled by emergency contracts. Now, imagine Clark is back in the mix. Throw Cunningham back in. Add an entire off-season of fine-tuning and the mental edge gained from that deep playoff run. Vegas needed an extra period in Game 5 just to survive a Fever squad that was basically running on fumes and sheer willpower. So, what happens when Indy rolls up with a full arsenal? It's simple. The Aces crumble, the Liberty fall. Everybody goes down because you can't just outplay the Indiana Fever with pure stats anymore. They've got the skill, the grit, and the heart. They've got the chemistry, the leadership, and the identity. Plus, their enforcer is back to ensure nobody lays a finger on their star player without paying a heavy price. I want to be perfectly clear about the reality of this situation. Indiana isn't trying to become a threat. They are the threat. What we're witnessing right now is the foundation of a new empire. Clark is 24, Boston is 23, and Mitchell is 30 but hitting a career peak. Hull is 26, and Cunningham is 29 with the motor of a rookie. Timpson is coming along, the staff is top tier, and the front office is playing chess while others play checkers. Between the state-of-the-art practice facility and the cash infusion from the new collective bargaining agreement, the franchise is thriving. All the stars are aligning perfectly, a rarity in the world of pro sports. When a team hits this kind of perfect storm, you either grab the gold or spend a lifetime wondering what if. And Indy? They're snatching this chance with a death grip, and they aren't letting go for anything. A little trash talk before I come and take your soul, pretty bold move. Trying to go head-to-head with the reigning defensive titan? Taking on a literal world-class athlete now, that's a choice. She actually makes a solid point there. The defense better stay on high alert. So, go ahead and treat yourself to a little something. Wow, what a point guard. That left-handed shot is pure poetry. Honestly, that hair is a total vibe. I might need to steal that look for myself. But here's the bottom line. Listen closely, because I'm not exaggerating for the sake of a headline. This isn't bait, and I'm not looking to start a fire for views. I'm telling you this because I believe it with every single bone in my body. The Indiana Fever will be your 2026 WNBA champions. Mark my words. Save the link, take a photo, and call me out in October if I'm wrong. Go ahead, I double dog dare you. Because everything about this organization, the roster, the coaches, the vision signals that this is their era, this is the team, this is the moment. Clark and Mitchell join Cunningham, Boston, and Hull. A quintet driven by singular purpose, zero apologies, nowhere to retreat. Forget the maybe scenarios. Bury those nearly moments. Enough. Victory was within reach. Now, they finally seized the crown. Indiana didn't merely acquire Sophie Cunningham. They solved the riddle. That final element surfaced, transforming a solid roster into a juggernaut. Once those 5 starters grace the floor on May 9th versus Dallas, every rival franchise will experience a sudden chilling epiphany. One instant of clarity where opponents stare across the hardwood, recognizing this squad isn't simply showing up to play the game. They aren't seeking attention. They aren't chasing a decent record, or posing for glamorous portraits to fill a media guide. This group aims for total conquest. Each matchup, every playoff bracket, every championship cup, together as one, possessing all required power. Sophie returns to the fold. Their adversaries aren't prepared. Honestly, whether they are braced for impact remains entirely irrelevant. Since, braced or otherwise, Indiana arrives in force. We have concluded today's WNBA Pro. Should this story spark your passion? Go ahead and crush that like icon. Drop your boldest theories in the section below. Does this lineup represent the premier starting unit throughout the entire association? Was re-inking Cunningham the biggest move this winter, or does a rival exist capable of halting the momentum Indiana is generating? I am looking for a total war of opinions down in the comment threads. Join the WNBA Pro Circle if you have not joined yet. Toggle those alerts because we track every transaction during this current off-season, ensuring you never overlook a single development.